Chat. Our beloved Chris Paul may be saying goodbye to San Antonio. He might be saying bye to San Antonio. So as we can see here, Chris Paul could be on the move again after spending 1 year with San Antonio. So it says anticipation is building that Paul could be on the move again this offseason, even though his time in San Antonio as a mentor to Victor Wembanyama and young team overall was an unabashed success. The reality now, though, is that San Antonio acquired De'Aaron Fox in February and just watched Steph Castle assemble of a Rookie of the Year season. Since winning the May 12th draft lottery, San Antonio has likewise attempted to convey a desire to rival teams that it intends to keep the number 2 pick. That was the other thing that we talked about. But as far as Chris Paul is concerned, he might not be here. A little bit more information on Chris Paul is Trailblazers are showing some interest. So it seems like at this point, I really hate that, bro. I hope he can just go to like a championship team and get one. But right now, it seems like teams are trying to bring him in as a mentor or whatnot. But the Blazers are among the teams that could have an interest in Chris Paul should he not return to the Spurs. A source told Hoopswire. Portland GM Joe Cronin has suggested he likes the roster as currently constructed, though those aren't around. The league have said that the Blazers would like to add a veteran guard to mentor Scoot Henderson. So that actually would also be a match made in heaven for them. Now, I'm just going to be transparent. I'll be honest, okay? When we first got Chris Paul, match made in heaven, right? I was very happy because the main thing that we all were talking about is that you're going to have a blueprint for Wemby. You'll be able to know how to get to some of his spots. We'll know what he likes, what he doesn't like, and it'll be good for our team. And I thought that the one player that would get the most benefit out of it was actually our boy, Steph Castle, which we end up being correct. He got the most usage out of it. And another thing that I thought, though, and end up being wrong, and maybe it's due to Devin Vassell's injuries, but I thought that he would also benefit a lot from having Chris Paul, where he doesn't have to do as much, right? He can just be more of a spot-up shooter. We saw how impressive he was in the play-in game, back against the wall. With DeJounte Murray. So I'm like, yeah, dude, you're older now. Like you should just be able to kill teams, right? By the way, I saw when we talked about RJ Barrett and people were talking about RJ Barrett, he's no better than Devin Vassell. This past season, y'all, RJ Barrett, this is a little off topic, but RJ Barrett had multiple 30-plus point games. I actually don't know. Hold on. Just out of curiosity, I do want to swear on Devin Vassell. 30-point games. Let's see. All right. So Devin Vassell's career 30-point games was 1 this last season. 7 total, 1 this last season. Just want to put things in perspective here because I think people really underestimate RJ Barrett. So here's RJ Barrett's numbers. He's at 30, but oh crap, it's not showing. Okay, it's showing some of this season. I hate that it cuts it off like that. I'm not going to pay for it. But as you can see, I mean, we can do the math here. I'm not good with math. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then plus another 5. So he's at 9 30-point games this season. So keep things in perspective, okay? Before you start saying like RJ Barrett is no better than Devin Vassell. Right now, I have all the faith in Devin Vassell as the next guy, right? But let's chill out a little bit. Chill out a little bit. Anyways, but yeah, I had high hopes for Devin Vassell playing with Chris Paul. It wasn't the best, but what I really hated was near the end of the season or second half of the season, mind you, when we got De'Aaron Fox. I hated Chris Paul being on the court. I despised it. It was, you guys talk about what fits, what works. Chris Paul did not work next to Fox. It did not work. The Spurs kept him on the floor mainly because they already promised him. And I understand that goes a long way for the future as well. Like, you got to stick to your word. You said that that's what you're going to do. He's going to have a significant role on the team. And going forward, you show him that type of respect. You don't just bench him just because you got a new toy to play with, right? You're not doing anything this season. What would you be doing it for, right? I don't think these few games that we have, Fox, all of a sudden we're just going to click on all levels and now we're ready for the playoffs come next season. That's not going to work, okay? It doesn't mean much. Fox is still are getting used to things as well. But I will say I hated it. It didn't work. And the reason why that didn't fit at all is because Chris Paul is a player that likes to slow down the pace, and Fox is one that likes to speed it up. So we had like this weird dynamic that when Chris Paul would get the ball, he would slow it down. When Fox gets the ball, he speeds it up. And then you have like one playing off ball, which both of them are quite better with the ball in their hands. It was just a really messy offense. I didn't like seeing it at all. It was not fun, and it was very apparent that Chris Paul should not be out there with Fox. But with that being said, I hate to see him go because I do think that he was a great mentor, but I also understand that he wants to ball as long as he can ball, and he's not going to be able to do that on the San Antonio Spurs at this point. So looks like Chris Paul is going to be gone. You can let me know how you guys feel about that, but I liked what he brought. I like what he brought for the time being, but it seems like it's time to walk away. Let's see. One thing I know is we need a backup point guard and a center, and a 3-and-D would help. Well, shoot, you about to get Dylan Harper, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe you can have Steph Castle be the backup if you want. I definitely agree with you at 3-and-D wing. You could possibly get that at 14. And then, backup center. That's probably the backup center. I mean, the more I think about it, man, because someone brought this up, they called me out on this, and I'm like, yeah, I think they're kind of right? Like, I can admit when I'm wrong. Like, I kept saying that a small forward is the most important thing right now, even more so than a backup center. But man, our our defense looked really bad when we didn't have a backup center, and relegating Sohan to guard other centers was really bad. I don't want to say it's bad for his development, but he's not really being able to do what he does best, and we're not maximizing our potential as a team when he has to guard the center all the time. So I kind of agree that I think a big man actually does take more priority than a 3-and-D wing. I think part of the reason why I was so stuck on that or hooked on that is I just have PTSD from Kawhi, right? Like I remember how long it took for us to get that, trying to experiment with RJ, and it just didn't work. So many different players we tried to bring in to fill that role, and then we got a little bit lucky with Kawhi. So I'm just like, those are really difficult to find. But yeah, how our team is constructed right now, we do have Harrison Barnes, unless you trade him away. You got some options, possibly in this draft, but you definitely need a center. I agree. Hold on, I wanted to respond to something, but it's not coming up yet. Give me a second. Yeah, yep. Adrian says it's obvious we were freaking midgets at the end of the year. Sohan not a center. It was really tough, and he did a good job. You guys remember his numbers versus? Hold on. Any chance I can give some Sohan propaganda, I will. Look at this. Let me show you something. Show you some stats. Let me show you some stats. He can be pretty doggone good versus a big man. Matchups. Let's do regular season. Jaren Jackson Jr. Oh, I guess the last game Jaren Jackson had a decent game. He was 50%. That's actually pretty good. Never mind. Julius Randle, though, my God. 3 for 11 when guarded by Sohan. Carly Towns did a good job. I'm looking for some centers. Porzingis went 0 for 6. Trying to keep it with the ones that you got some type of minutes against. We know he bullied Shea. Shea went 0 for 7 from 3. Luka 6 for 20. I was trying to look for more big men. Anyways, you get the point. He had to do it a lot. And he didn't do a terrible job. I think maybe I'm going off of the first game with Jaren. Or maybe am I thinking of last season? Hold on. Oh, okay. Maybe I was thinking of last season. Because last season, Jaren Jackson went 8 for 21 when Sohan was guarding him, 38%. I might have been thinking of last year. By the way, these numbers are kind of incredible, especially when your assignments all game long are difficult. Like Anthony Edwards holding them 10 for 25, 40%. Or Luka Doncic 6 for 20, and then you're constantly guarding whoever's the best player out there when they're not even on the court and you still are on the court. It's very impressive. His motor's ridiculous. I think it might be crazy to say. I think Sohan is the most. I don't think this is crazy to say. I think he's the most well-conditioned player we have on the team. I mean, they'll just play him 40 minutes, and I literally cannot tell the difference between him in the first quarter and the fourth. Last season, Jeremy had JJJ on a game-winning basket. Oh, yeah, Jaren Jackson hit that. Was that a three-pointer? Didn't Jaren hit a three-pointer on Sohan? Sometimes just better. Great offense is just better than great defense. He was all over him in that play, too. Yeah. That's why I remember that. Yeah, maybe he went off that game. I don't remember what his numbers were that game. So, and you're the starting center. Might as well. He had him starting point guard. Now he's he had to guard the centers. He was kind of backup center at times. So why not just make him full-time center? Anyways, I don't even remember what this segment was about. Was this about Chris Paul? Chris Paul, we're gonna miss you. We love you. We love you.